I saw it coming, guys. All I can say is I tried to add co-hosts. My phone was disconnecting, and I knew I could sense the vibe. We were in it. That's all I can say. It's rug pull. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If the disconnection from the host like periodically happens, then that can occur. And my disc it just kept disconnecting. I added two other co-hosts in attempt, failed attempt. I'm sorry. It just does it. I'm bummed because that was a really good vibe. He was vibing, bro. And I knew it. It kept saying break connection. I was breaking connection. So I'm gonna hang out here for a minute just because it was quite an impactful, tapped in kind of vibe. And I was feeling it, you were feeling it, he was feeling it. And he's probably doesn't even realize that this space broke off. And I don't know what to tell you except X is undefeated. It's a rug pull. We try our best, and I'm literally like hanging my phone out the window, trying to ensure that my reception is the best it can be. I don't know if you saw quickly. I tried to add two co-hosts because I noticed my reception was breaking, and I mean, Pippi. I mean, you guys know it is what it is. I'm just bummed because that was a really good. That was a very strong, high vibrational kind of thought there. So I was digging it. I was enjoying it. We're still here though. I don't mind being here. It's 9 o'clock though. We did that for 6+ hours. I'm probably gonna even leave this short. There he is. He there. Oh, I'm adding. Here's the thing. I really. I can just apologize, Michael. I saw a second speaker. Can you hear me? You there?
I don't know when you guys lost me or when I fell off, but I was going at
You were
it.
really in a vibe and it was going
Yeah,
really, really good. I was trying to explain here. I had two co-hosts. I invited two people. My connection, it shows that it's breaking. And so I was just trying to get people up here and it ended up breaking anyway. And I knew it would. So anyway, X is undefeated.
that's
If you
okay.
wouldn't mind anything, wherever you were at, people will go back and listen. And I captured a lot of what you were saying. You were very much in a zone, and we were hearing what you were talking about and the importance of. I mean, what you were saying specifically was like really trusting in yourself and being in yourself. You were following the candles, and I mean, you were talking about manifestation. You were talking about how important it is to have a faith and trust in the Lord, because through the Lord you can manifest your reality. You can accomplish so much, and that message was being conveyed. You were saying that. So
Yeah, without knowing the last thing I actually was heard saying, I don't even know where I would want to pick it up, and it's already left me.
the Lord
So,
inhabits the praise.
hey, oh yeah, I said a whole lot after that then.
Well, that was the last piece that we got, my friend. That's all I can say.
Awesome. That's okay. That's good enough. That'll preach by itself. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to hijack. I want to hear everybody else. Like my wife's already
Yeah,
asleep.
no, brother, I
I just
feel
want
you.
to
I feel
listen.
you.
You
Yeah,
guys
no,
are hanging
it's
out.
been a great conversation. I love it. So, and it is it is the give and take. We love having you here. So, I think everyone here is vibing and chilling. A rug pull is always kind of a negative vibe, but we're just gonna keep it going, keep it flowing. I'll add some folks here. You can listen. You can add whatever you'd like. You hear the bloop. That's me trying to add folks to the conversation, sometimes frantically, without a co host. Sometimes the rug pull comes.
Hmm.
I added two co hosts quickly, was to no avail. So, anyway, adding folks back to the conversation. Got Jason Alvarez. I like the name. Mauricio, Pippi.
Hey,
The
kid.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hey, remember when Michael had that space talking about what are you gonna do to prepare yourself?
Yeah,
I've
three
always,
3 weeks ago.
yeah, my grandma, she grew up like post Great Depression, so I'm always wondering if maybe Michael can see any similarities because nobody ever really talks about the Great Depression. But my grandma from that, she taught me how to can my own food, how to garden. My grandpa taught me how to hunt, and so I harvest venison for meat and So just to be self-sufficient, but I don't know, is anything today kind of similar to those times besides maybe post-war?
Yeah, we're right before the Great Depression. What came after the Great Depression? Everything that we see in world history led up to wars and things that led up to changes in the way of the order of things. Okay, and that's what they're trying to do again. I was listening when I first chimed in and listened to you guys with me want to come in and like join the conversation. Was one of the members were saying to the effect that, hey, look, I was studying this, and every year when the Fed fund rate does this, that, and that thing, I was like, okay, I'm jumping in now. they plan these things, okay, and they cause the chaos, they cause the problem, but they have the solution already in their back pocket, ready to give it to you, just like COVID. That was planned like 10 years before they actually did it, and I didn't know that, but after studying and looking into it, it's like, oh yeah, of course, here you dig enough, you'll see what these people have been doing. The point is this: I came from very, very humble beginnings, and none of the people in my family had money. My dad's mom married a guy that was well off, but he wasn't trying to break off any money. He wasn't trying to do anything, and it's fine. I'm glad he didn't do anything, because if he would have given me something, then maybe I wouldn't have been where I am today. But my grandmother talked about how it was growing up in the Great Depression and what they had to do. And they did their own canning, they did their own gardening, and they saved everything, and they made their own clothes. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do that now, but learning how to sew and having a skill to provide, just to get by because they had to. And I think right now we're privileged because we have a skill set. Whether or not that skill set, I saw Pax's response to somebody saying, "What happens if it's taken away?" And of course, it's never going to go away. It's going to be. I hope it's like that. I hope it's like that. But what if it doesn't? Like, really, what if it doesn't? I mean, think about all the stuff that we're seeing right now. How wicked in the depths of evil, like it is everywhere. It's not just in America, man. It's everywhere. And they're all scurrying like cockroaches because the light's shining on them. And their response is going to be the only thing they can be is self-preservation. And they look at us as vermin. They'll scorch the earth to get rid of us because now everybody knows that they are what they are. They're evil. You can't look at these people and say, well, it was just a bad mistake. No, you're evil. Like, you don't deserve to be here. Like, you're a cancer on society. You're vampiric. And having skill sets like we have, while they're afforded to us, we have a little bit of a hedge. We have a way of getting past, the average person out there that may honestly have a whole lot more hardship. And that's why I cultivated this stuff when I started teaching. I was like, don't look at this as making money for yourself and living high on the hog. And it's like, it's a fast life and I love it. And it's all about me. I can buy nice stuff. If you prepare yourself to be generous, charitable to people that are in need, and you're not a sociopath where you just can't connect with the average person, I encourage all of you, as you make money, go out and find somebody that you can see visually needs something. The people that got there and beg on the corners, I don't give anything to them. I don't give anything to them. When I was younger, I did. But then I got hip to what they were doing. They had houses. They got in their cars and drove home. But they were pretending to be homeless. But when you go to a store, or if you're just out in public and you see somebody, and they're hiding their emotions. They walk around, they sit down, and they start breaking down. They're crying. You could see they're hungry. You could see they don't have anything. You walk up to them and say, hey, look, I don't know who you are, but my name is whoever your name is. And say, I just want to bless you with this today, and I hope your day gets better. And you watch what happens. You watch what happens in your own personal life. You do it cheerfully. That's why I do this. Like, I want all of you to be empowered to do those types of things. Not go out there and buy supercars. Like, I can't stand that. Of all the students that I have that have been making lots of money, I can't stand those posts. They make me sick. That literally, it's begging for attention. Who gives a crap how many things that you paid for, how much you paid money for? Who gives a shit? Who really gives a shit? It's an ugly characteristic. It's ugly. Like, I don't like it. It's disgusting. Look what I can spend money on. Who gives a shit? But we're going to
Versus
see
the
it.
impact of how you can help people, right?
Exactly right.
Versus if you had that exact same position and you have that exact same influence, why aren't you utilizing that to impact the lives of other people? And just
Exactly.
the small intention that someone could do. You look at young influencers who just don't know. They don't fucking know. They got so much money, they don't know what to do with it. Whereas they could really focus on trying to impact other people's lives,
Yeah.
and the difference of that intention within our community, and really growing within the trading space, that intention, right? Like radiating this intention of really helping other people. It's not about supercars. It's not. And you've made that very clear throughout all of your mentorship. So this is nothing more than an irradiation of the culture that you've already cultivated.
I heard stories.
Hey, I can attest to that because in volume one of his lesson of the gospel on the Baran study, he goes over this same exact story about the grocery store and just blessing somebody. And I was at the gas station maybe a week and a half ago or a week ago, and a lady was at the counter in front of me, and she was trying to get like $5 on pump one or whatever, and her card was just not working, and she like walked out of the store or whatever, and I said, hey, go, I said, go ahead and put $40 on that pump for her. And I opened the door. I said, "Hey, go ahead and pump gas. It should be ready." And she just like came up and gave me a big hug. And so,
Feels
it
good,
just
doesn't it?
there's literally nothing
Great.
better than
That's a
that,
great
man.
flex, bro. I love that. High
There's
five.
nothing
Good
better
work.
than that.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better.
Listening to my grandparents talk about what they had to do, honestly, it scared me. I was like, the biggest fear I had growing up was being homeless. And I was homeless. I ended up homeless, sleeping in my Mustang with Cody in the front seat with no car seat. And it's about 40 degrees outside. And I have a quarter tank of gas. And I don't have any money in my pocket. And I don't know how I'm going to run the car without running out of gas overnight. So my uncle, who I was parked down the street from, just so happened to be walking his dog. He never walked his dogs. Never walked his dogs, man. He saw my car. He was curious. He says, "It looks like Michael's car." He walks up to it, looks inside, sees me huddled up, and Cody laying over there, wrapped up. Knocks on the glass. "What are you doing?" And I just started crying. I was like, I don't have anywhere else to go. He said, "Come on." I drove the car up. He didn't ask me any questions. Just told me to go up there. There's the room. You need anything right away? I said, "No, I'm good." And I laid up there for a couple hours just crying because I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. And my fear was reality. I ended up becoming homeless. Like, I was homeless, man. No money, broke. And hey, the lessons I learned listening to my grandparents talk about it was I have to do things differently. I have to plan ahead. If I make lots of money, I need to put it aside. I need to invest it. I need to put it in things that's going to be useful, intangible objects that are not just affluence, and prepare. Not just have what I have in my house, but in other places, and also pour and invest in other people. And that's the lessons I learned from my grandparents. And having, was I homeless sleeping on the street for days or whatever? No, it was a couple hours. But if my uncle wouldn't have been walking down the street, I would have been sleeping in my car that night with no intentions of knowing where I was going to go the next day. I put myself through something hiding from his mother financially. Not because I'm a deadbeat, but because she was a gold digger, man. And I was absolutely convinced that I was going to do whatever I had to do to keep her and her husband at the time, who was literally calling me up every single night, telling me, "We're taking you to the bank. We're going to take you to the bank." And I had homicidal thoughts, man. Like, it was weighing on me. I wanted to just do some ugly stuff. And I knew everything. When I thought the market was going to go up, I bet it down. When I thought it was going to go down, I bet it the opposite direction, back and forth, to lose whatever I had. So that way, when I went into court with her, I had nothing to show for it. But I did it so much that I had nothing. Like, I had nothing. And my uncle and my aunt helped me. They were like the, the angels that swept in and said, okay, well, we're going to help you. And I stayed with them for a little while and rebuilt myself. But that was a very embarrassing time in my life, and it was self-inflicted. I wish I wouldn't have done it to that degree, but that's those lessons of preparing and feeling what it feels like, the weight of the world. I had that same skill set. I had the same skill set. I knew how to trade, but I had something standing in the way that prevented me. Now you understand the question? It not necessarily means that they take the market from you, but what happens if a circumstance in your personal life prevents you from being able to do it? It could be an illness. What do you have in the way of a precautionary means of meeting your ends? Are you prepared if you don't trade anymore for a year? Can you sustain yourself? Most of you probably couldn't because you're spending as you make. And I was spending as I made. Everything I earned, wasted. Showing off, doing what you see all these people on the social media that are making money. I did all that stuff. Did it stupidly. But it taught me, it humbled me because I felt something I never thought I was going to feel. Younger, I was afraid of being homeless because of the stories my grandparents used to talk about. They had to save things. They never threw anything away. Old jeans, even if they were torn, don't throw them away. We can cut patches out of that. And if you get a hole in your jeans, we'll just sew that in. And I have pictures of my aunts being young, and they have jeans with patches in their jeans. So she wasn't just making it up. And in her back of her house, there was one room full of stuff. I'm like, what is all this stuff? She goes, oh, we have to, you never know when you're going to need that again. But they had everything. They lived simple, but they were afraid that they were going to have to go through what they went through in the Great Depression. So what did it do? It placed in me a fear, which I'm glad. I'm glad that it was given to me because then I felt the weight of being homeless. And by God's grace said it's only for a couple hours. I didn't see any more of that. So it changed my perspective about everything. It was a paradigm shift in what I did. I didn't look at money as being flaunting it and being an image of pomp. It's a tool. And I'm going to use this tool to fortify my family, to fortify an insurance mechanism in case this is taken from me ever again. I'm not going to have to worry about sleeping in my car. I'm not going to have to worry about borrowing money so I can start another trading account and build it up and then pay them money and let them ask me for whatever they want to get just to milk me and take advantage of me. Because that's what eventually happened. What would you do if it was taken from you? Whatever the circumstance would be, it might not be as extreme as the markets are simply saying, you need to be a professional. And if you can't meet these conditions, then you can't participate. What really would prevent that? What in your imagination would prevent them? Because they don't need your fucking money, man. They already have it. They have all the money. They have all the power. So the question you're probably asking yourself is why? Why would anybody believe this horseshit? Why would you even contemplate or consider this as a realistic thing? It can't be realistic because they want to make money off of us. They already have all the money. They already have it. When they want to keep the class separation wide and like the disparity that is right now, they're going to take the tools away from the people that use this as a means of getting there. And you don't think, with all the shit they've been doing, you don't think that that's not on the menu? Of course it is. I understand positive thinking. It ain't never going to happen. It's going to be changed. It's going to morph. It's going to evolve. Says who? That's just an opinion. Go back 6 years ago. Someone told you, listen, man, can you imagine if these fucking devil worshiping vampire child rapist pieces of shit all around the world that are really running the governments everywhere, they're all going to pull some bullshit and make everybody believe that there's an illness out there that's going to get you. And if you wear a mask while you're walking around the restaurant, but you can take it off and eat and you'll be fine. And if you stand 6 feet away from each other, you won't get infected with it. And they're going to pull this shit on everybody. And they're going to force this inoculation on everyone. If you don't do it, you're not going to be allowed to have your job. You would have fucking told them, go fuck yourself. You're crazy. You're nuts, man. You're nuts. Until we live through it. Now tell me, is it too far of a stretch to imagine them saying, you can't play? You're not one of us. Think about it. It might not happen. It might not happen. But what if it does? How will that impact you? Have you made your house ready for something like that? That's all I'm posing. I mean, I want to be wrong about that. I want to be able to trade. I want to be able to make money. I want to be able to do all the things I'm doing because it's a hobby. But they could take it from me and I don't care. I don't care. I don't need it. But many of you have your hopes and dreams set on this. It's your only way out. That's how you've framed it. And you may be making money right now. But what are you doing with it? Are you racing to go onto social media to try to impress people that don't even know who you are just for a little like, a little heart to appear underneath your post, or someone to say, bro, you're the GOAT? I can't fucking stand that. And so many people want to call me that. I want to be the guy that says, here's what I think you should focus on right now. Then watch you do it, and then watch the joy materialize and manifest in what you're doing and how your family look up to you and say, you have become such a wonderful provider. And they have faith and they believe in what you're doing now. That's what I want to see. That's GOAT like to me. That's the greatest of all time. You're the greatest of all time for your family. That's what I want to see. I want to create those things. I'm not trying to be that. I'm just a conduit. And so many
Hey,
people, go
Michael,
ahead. I'm
may
listening.
I ask a question?
Sure, man, go ahead.
So, what advice would you give to somebody like myself? I live in Detroit, Michigan. I've been following you for 3 years. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ. I'm unemployed at the moment. I'm doing DoorDash, and I can't seem to find consistency. What advice would you give me to focus and lock in to see if I can get my family out of this mess?
What have you tried to do when you were trying to trade? Like what were you using? Were you using prop? Were you using your real money? Like what it you did?
I do prop firms. I don't have enough money to open up a live account.
When you were using the prop, were you trying to make a lot of money real quick?
I'm going through some foreclosures on my house at the moment. I have 4 kids, my wife. So I guess because of my problems, I did try to rush it. And I know I'm not supposed to. I know I'm not supposed to size in, but I'm in a really tight spot. My house could be taken away from me in 1 month. And I'm really trying. I understand all your work. I'm just, I got
Bro,
a lot of.
can I just tell you, approaching what you're dealing with, you can't have a victim mindset. And even approaching it, it's going to be within the vocabulary and how you articulate things, right?
Yeah, I know. I gotta frame my speeches
It's
in,
it's
in,
it's
in a.
it's where and how you are telling the story. Okay, so you're
Okay.
telling the story out the rip with a victim mindset. Just so you know,
I know.
which is
I
going
was
to
just.
make it very difficult to trade. Just so you know,
No, and I get that, but I was just
there
trying to
there
look.
is
Not not
no
not.
but to trading with a victim mentality. The market doesn't owe you shit, my friend. And I'm
I never.
sorry.
I
And I'm
never said the
sorry
market owed
that
me
I
anything.
understand, but I understand. Guess what? You're going through a difficult time right now. And you want to know what? I can empathize and relate with that. I'm not here to shit on that. I'm here to say I understand what it's like to be going through a difficult time. I can also tell you in going through a difficult time and where and how you are rolling the dice and where and how you are coming to the market from a place of desperation, my friend. You are coming to the market from a place of desperation, my friend. You are
Right.
coming
So
to the
so I'm
market
coming
from
here.
a
So I'm
place
coming
of
here.
desperation.
I understand, kid, but I'm coming here and I'm not asking how
But
to
I
be a
want you to
millionaire.
understand
I'm asking for
you
advice.
cannot be what you want when you come to the market from a place of desperation. You got to understand the journey that we are all on, my friend. This is
I
not you.
understand
This
that.
is not personal.
no, I'm not taking it personal. I'm just asking for advice for
I
somebody
understand.
in
well the
my
first thing
situation.
first
How
thing
do I go
Rafi,
about?
is you cannot come to the market from a place of desperation. Therefore, you're not really in a point or a position to trade. So you're not asking for trading advice, which is understandable because I want you to reframe and recontextualize where you're at and what you're saying because you're not coming here asking for how to trade. Okay?
Correct.
You're not. You're coming from a place of desperation within your life and lifestyle. And I, on my hands and knees, will pray with you, brother. I will pray with you and I will help you understand that you're coming from this place of weakness into a ferocious marketplace that does not accept weakness.
No, and I understand. I'm not saying the market should pay me because of what I'm going through.
Well,
I'm just
well, well
saying
you
how
can't
do I
even.
lock in and focus on when I come into the markets? How do I block
There
out
is
some
no
noise?
translation to I'm losing my mortgage and I want to be a successful trader. That does not exist. You are coming to the market from a place of desperation. You got to understand the rocky road, the wave. And this is the thing. I really can understand this. It's like this is as a trader, right? Hear me out. This is like someone telling me that they love who they love and that person died yesterday, but they got to trade tomorrow. You're
I,
forgetting an element called time within all of
no, I mean
this.
I'm not saying I have to trade, but I feel like trading
Hold on, hey,
isn't.
Rafi. The
Yes,
first
sir.
thing you need to do, you need to go get a job, like you be a second shift job or something. Just go get a job and get some
No, I
money
mean
He's
I'm
flowing,
a
doing
construction
DoorDash. He
foreman.
understands
and
that.
then and then
I'm a
and then go back
construction
to Michael's
foreman. I'm
page.
just on layoff at the moment,
Yeah,
and I'm going
That's
through a
fair.
difficult time,
go
and I'm
back.
doing DoorDash, to keep up with the bills. And I was just, I'm not asking for anything. I'm
No, I
not
got you,
saying
brother. And all I
I'm
want you to help. I'm trying to help you understand, and I'm going to hand the mic off to Mike to Michael. But I just want to recontextualize my point to you, brother. And I'm not mad at you. What I'm trying to say is you're coming from a place of desperation, and if you're trying to come to the market from a place of desperation, from a place of weakness, the market will devour you. You cannot come to the market from a place of desperation, throwing a Hail Mary, hoping that this trade is going to be the game changer for you because you will lose every time.
no, I mean I'm not rolling the dice on trades. I'm actually I don't do more than 3 micros,
And
on
I
my
love it. I
trades.
love and value and
I
appreciate what you're saying. And I'm not trying to criticize your trading. I'm trying to recontextualize where you're coming from to the market. And you've made that this very clear. And this is a common thing with traders. You have to understand if you're coming to the market from a place of desperation, that's the first thing we need to recalibrate here. Okay? Because you can't be desperate coming to the market. You can be
I'm
what you
not
could.
desperate. I'm just in a lot of pressure from real life
Hold on,
situations.
Listen to what Kid is saying, dude. He's saying he's really trying to get to you. Like he's
I'm
saying
yeah,
real
I'm
shit.
not splitting hairs here with you, and I agree with what you're saying. But what's the opposite of desperation? If I'm not desperate, what am I? I'm dominant.
I
Fi-
mean, but because of my situation, am I not allowed to be desperate?
Because of your situation, you indeed are desperate. Therefore, you need to recalibrate what the solution is to the problem, and that's why we are all here is to help come together with that. Is the solution to your problem back testing for 18 months in demo before you trade a prop fund within you getting ready to lose your house within a month? Because that's the fucking conversation we're having here, isn't it, Rafi?
I mean, I do all the back tests and every single
Yeah,
day.
but
Like me
this, hey,
personally, I
did you listen to what Michael just said when he was living out of his car, out of desperation,
yeah,
what he
I
was
mean,
doing in the charts? He wasn't able to make rational decisions. So
That's
you have to
right.
step back. You have to build a plan. You have to take a step back and you have to say, okay, this is everything going on. And if you go back through Michael's post, he's literally laying out a plan. He said, only go in there with one micro, go for 37 and a half handles. That's so easy in this market, honestly. It's
I
so
mean, I
easy.
mean, I
Quit trying to
understand.
go in there
I
like a
I
big bad
understand
person. You're
everything
going
you
to make
guys
your
are
mortgage in one
saying.
day.
No, I
Like you just have
understand.
to take it back to the basics,
Okay,
bro.
okay, Rafi, I understand you understand, and I apologize for coming at you the way I did. Pretty please,
No, no, no.
with a
There's no,
hug.
no, no hard
Come
feelings.
on,
You're just
bro. I
trying to,
mean, come
correct
on.
me.
It's all good. The thing is, we recalibrate our positioning and with where and how we utilize the market. So what you need to do, you're a musician, you're an athlete, okay? You are accumulating knowledge. You're in the accumulation phase, all right, my brother? Hear me out. You are in the A of this MD, right? You're already in the M because this motherfucker's going, that's spinning out of control. You're dealing with some fucking, you're redlining. I get it. But you need to focus on this trading journey. You're in A, my friend. You're in accumulation. You're just dribbling in place right now. You're so busy trying to be a dad, trying to be a husband, trying to keep your fucking head together. All you
Right,
can do is accumulate knowledge right now, my brother. And then now is not a time that you're doing anything but accumulating knowledge, right? Because you once you get this A, you already know you got to fuck with some M still, right? Which means you're going to take steps forward and then you're going to take some steps backwards before you start distributing in this game. Okay. And you're definitely not in this point of distribution at the moment. Okay. You got a lot of things holding you back. Your guardrails are really tight. You can only accumulate. Trust me, bro. As someone who's been through a divorce, I can sit here and talk about all my scars. I can talk about all the reasons I'm standing here today through my pain. So I'm with you, Rafi. I understand this motherfucker ain't easy, but you can't come to the market from a point, a place of desperation. You have to accumulate. You got to recalibrate how you're looking. You got to come back. You're a student, my friend. You got to reassess how you're utilizing knowledge towards the market. You feel me?
right. I mean, I get you, brother. I get you. I was just pretty much in plain terms. I was just asking, what advice would you guys, not just Michael himself, but
Well, no, I would love
anybody
to
in the
refrain to
chat?
Michael now that I've gone through my very emotional outburst and I've been sure to make sure everyone understands my thoughts and 2 cents. Michael, if you don't mind, he was asking you the question. So respectfully, would you
I mean,
provide
I
your
was
thoughts and
asking
2 cents?
everybody.
No, no,
I
but
was
high
asking
five, buddy.
everybody
High
in
five.
general.
I okay, then Rafi, I would like Michael's thoughts and 2 cents. Pretty please.
Yes, sir.
Before I get into it, I believe that this is probably one of the biggest and most painful things I get when I open up my email box because I have so many people that come to me and they say, "Hey, look, I tried this guy's course. I tried this stuff over here. I bought this hook, line, and sinker. I chased this, I chased that." And some of them have tried to do what my YouTube channel talks about, but they watch one or two videos and they think they have it figured out. And they think just because the prop firm companies only cost a couple, dollars here and there, and they get their discount codes, they can go in here and buy a bunch of them and gamble and gamble and gamble. And then all of a sudden, that little bit of a purchase turns into $20,000, $30,000 in credit cards, and now they're in trouble. Um, can I ask you some personal questions? And if you don't want to answer them, it's okay. But if you're asking me what my thoughts are, I would have to know certain things.
Yeah,
Are you
that's fine.
comfortable?
I don't mind opening up with you guys.
How long have you lived at your home?
7 years. I own it.
Is it paid for?
It's paid for. I just fell behind on taxes, and they want to foreclose it because of tax problems.
How much do you owe on taxes?
Uh, about 5,000, 6,000. That's it.
How much do you earn when you do your DoorDash?
If it's a really good night, $150, $180 per night.
You have any children?
I got 4 kids, and I got five total. I pay child support for one, and I live with four of them.
Does your wife work?
No, sir.
Are your children small?
My oldest is 15. I got a 13, then 8, 6, and a 10-month-old.
I can imagine how, this sense of urgency on thinking that, well, if I get this right, I can get, a nice payout, and it'll put me in a better position, and then it'll buy me some time to make better decisions. But unfortunately, that's usually not the case. And what they were saying, I was in agreement with, but it was a little uncomfortable because it was very, very like direct and snatching you up like you're dragged into an alley and say, listen, man. But what they're saying essentially is true. I would have said it just like I'm saying it to you now. The solution that you're looking for is the solution that I can't give you and nobody really can give you. It's a matter of you taking a step back. You have to regroup. And if that means working another job, whatever time you have available, then that's what you do. I had to do that. There was a moment where I was doing three jobs. I was working at two sub shops and I was doing things, delivering in the back of a cube van. And I was delivering tiles and flooring stuff. And I did that stuff to get money scraped up while living with my aunt. So it wasn't fun. I didn't have a social life. Um, it's something that you're going to have to do. There's no way around it. And while you're doing that, you don't look at the charts because you need to rest. You need to be able to earn money that make sure that you maintain the house and the roof that's over your family's head. Trading won't go away, but your house can go away. So if you're only doing DoorDash right now, you need to find another stream of income, whatever that is. And I don't know the answer to that. It may be something that you know that you should be doing, but you just don't want to do it because you'd rather do trading. I have lots of guys come to me in email, and after back and forth, they finally break down and say, "Look, yeah, I have this job. I don't want to do it. I would rather do this." And everybody wants to, have the dream job of sitting around playing on their phone or their computer and make $10,000, $5,000 a day. But until you get that skill set, which I can tell you honestly, with the pressures of having children, the pressures of having the overhead that you are now being squeezed on, you're not going to be able to focus on trading. Even if I was sitting there next to you, as soon as I walked away, you would think that you could take another trade and you would lose money because you have a toxic perspective right now. A sense of urgency is going to cloud your mind and you won't be rule based. So in your unique situation, and it's only unique because now you've found your way in it now, but it's not unique because there's a lot of people out there that's going through it. They're not coming out candidly on social media and saying, "Hey, look, this is what I'm going through," because it's embarrassing, it's scary. You don't really want to pretend that you want to pretend it's not there, and you want to pretend that everything's good. You just keep pushing it aside. So it takes a lot of courage for you to come up and say what you're saying because you want somebody to give you a solution because you can't think clearly about it right now. The only thing you're doing is drowning. And I can tell you, I've been there. I have done what you're doing. I didn't have as many kids, but I had that one boy, and that one boy was my entire world. And I knew that I wasn't going to see him much until I got things together, and I found myself, in a position where I can go back into an apartment. I started that low again, and I built myself up. Are you willing to get yourself in a position where you're working another job, giving up weekends, and not seeing your own kids and your wife and explaining to them, look, this is where I'm at. This is what we have to do. And if that means selling something that you have just to gain some more money, where are you at in that way of thinking? Do you have anything that you can do away with and
I
sell?
I mean, I'm a hustler, so I do a little bit of mechanic work on the side for extra income. If I can do some demolition for house repairs, I'll do that also. Anything that I can get my hands on to make any money. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I do have a job. I'm just on layoff at the moment. I do construction, cement work,
Is it
and I
seasonal? You get called back in the spring?
yes, sir. I get called back like around March, April.
Okay.
You pouring slab on grade? You doing commercial work? You doing what are you
Yeah,
doing?
It's for the city, so
So
the
you're doing
company is look.
sidewalk, you're doing aprons,
Correct.
sidewalks, lots of driveways.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, if I may add, for $5,000, you cannot lose your house, my friend. $5,000, I'm sorry. I'm in real estate. You absolutely cannot lose your house. You really need to focus on getting a job, getting a personal loan. Hit me up. I'll help you out. But for $5,000, you cannot lose your house if you're in foreclosure. I deal
I
with
know, brother,
foreclosures
and
a lot.
I'm
So
trying. I'm
happy
trying.
to help you. Happy to help you. But $5,000, it's a lot of money, but it's not in the scheme of things. It's not too much for you to lose your home that you've been living for 7 years that you just answered to Michael. So happy to help you with, we come up with a plan for the $5,000. But I agree with Keith and Michael. You really need to get another job. If you're good in construction is, it's at least in Miami and South Florida is booming. I don't know in Detroit, but definitely, there's a shortage of people here. So I don't know in Detroit, but again, I think that, the $5,000, for the personal loan, you can easily pay it on a monthly, and you don't lose your house, and then you keep your 4 kids and wife, in your house.
Correct, correct. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, dude. Taking care of your wife and kids, that's your number one job. And taking on an extra job sounds like how we're really looking at flushing out where there's a problem and then where there's a solution. And when you get in a room full of men together, you're typically going to find out what the problem is and you're going to find out a pathway towards a solution. So, Rafi, what likelihood or chance are you in picking up? You said you're a hustler. You said you're in construction. You've laid off. You're laid off with a contracting company that works for the city, correct?
Correct. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so within that, you're doing city work, and where are you within that company? What do you do? You're just a general laborer? Are you a superintendent? Are you managing
Yeah,
people?
yeah. I'm a foreman,
Okay, so
so
you're managing five, six, seven people at any given time. You got a pay.
correct.
Your sheet's got 12 people on it, and you're paying them anywhere from 10 to 25 bucks, right? You're making 40 bucks an hour as a foreman with concrete, pouring city work. Am I wrong?
Yeah, 35,
All right,
38.
it happens. It's almost like I've seen these spreadsheets before, right? It's like I'm the guy who pays the guy who pays the guy, right? So yeah. Anyway, point being, you need to get another job, my friend.
Yes, sir.
You got
Nah,
four.
man. I
You
mean,
got four
I'm
kids.
looking. I'm putting out applications, brother. Believe me, I'm doing even places I've never worked. I'm putting out applications. I'm not staying at home watching TV.
No, right on, right on, right on. I feel you. I feel you.
I'm trying to get the ball rolling, but
But within all of that, G, I would say your focus on trading, it should not be on trading. And it's no offense to you, your aptitude, your ability, your model, what you're looking at, what you want from trading. But Poppy, Daddy, you got a lot of mouths to feed, and you're putting a lot of weight on those decisions that you're trying to make on the market, and that's
right.
approaching the market more in a gambling mentality than it really is a trading mentality. And when you're forcing yourself into that paradigm due to desperation, my friend, that's not something you're trying to do. It's you're taking a circle and trying to fit it into a square. And if four kids and a wife and bills are lagging and weighing you down, then it's really tough for you to go to the market outside of treating it like a lottery. And understanding that means that that's not what you use it for. Understanding that means that you can step back, you can be the student, you can be the student while you're taking up a security gig, working nights, picking up a concierge gig, working at a hospital or at a hotel. I mean, it sounds to me with you busy as busy as you are, if you could find a night shift, a night job, for example, like a concierge that works at a hotel front desk, if you could peel a job like that, which might make you an extra 18, 20 bucks an hour for an extra 6, 8 bucks 6, 8 hours, maybe a week on top of whatever you got. You ain't going to sleep a lot, but you got two things. You can actually have someone pay you to then continue studying the trade. You feel me?
Yes, sir. I
That's you
understand.
taking your passion and you hustling so that you can continue your passion, bro. And you want to know what? I got boys like Sabbath Lab that's going to come up here and tell you straight up. He's like, yep, that's what I did. That's what I did. Young men trying to find ways to hustle, and you're a contractor. We already know, Rafi, you can hustle. So coming up here, and I'll just say this: trading is a really good, noble profession, but you can't fit a circle in a square, my friend. And it don't mean you ain't ever going to be a trader. It's how you can you respect the hustle enough so that you can be. And it means you ain't putting a circle in a motherfucking square, which means you ain't racing to the market with money you ain't got to trade a model you don't have to make money that you ain't gonna make.
I feel that 100%.
It's admirable as a father, as a husband, to look at it as, you know, I'm willing to take on unrealistic risk for the sake of providing for my family. And as men here listening to you, if we were in the same situation, the thought would enter our mind too. It did when I was going through it. I was trying to do anything, everything I could, and over leveraging, trying to rush to get back. I did that, and it hurt me. It pushed it further away, and I knew how to trade. I knew how to do the things you see me do, but I allowed the sense of urgency, the embarrassment, and the shame I had was because people were like, "Dude, like you're living with your aunt and uncle." Dude, you're not driving those nice cars anymore. Dude, you're living in now an apartment. I thought you were supposed to be rich. I thought you were supposed to be laid up with all kinds of dough. I had all those things swirling in my head, and I was rushing to get back through that. So thinking about, advice about what we can do to like make that easier, I don't have any answer for that. You're just gonna have to take a step back, put the hat on as the provider for your family, wear that until you're in a position where you can comfortably look at risk again, where you're not risking them having a roof over their head or not having a roof over their head, whether they're eating or not eating, and you can look at them and smile content knowing you're providing for them and you're not in a rush to get back to the marketplace. That's when you go back to doing it. That's when you go back to trying to trade and start building another income through that. Because until you do that and find that state of contentment with just being a dad providing, it's going to be hard because you know it's lingering. I could make a lot of money, but I can tell you right now, it's going to be outside of your reach. It will be impossible as long as you have that impulsiveness that you want to get it real fast. You have to get it real fast. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be frustrated. You won't you won't fall into consistency. You're going to fall into regret. You're going to blow the accounts. You're going to blow the combines. You're going to waste money doing it. And it's going to just pile on top of you more regret, more fear, more sense of failure. And you're not going to want to do anything. And it may affect your personal life with your children and your wife or your health. And there's no easy way around it but going through it. And you have to go back to basics, which is just getting another income and the secondary income. And hopefully, if you get your job back in spring, how many weeks or months do you think it'll take for you to get back in a groove where it might be something you could fall back into trying to do again?
I mean, once I get my job back, I know within 2 months of working, I can catch back up on bills and, but like I said,
Okay.
I got a month for this foreclosure. So if I can figure that out when I have that stress hanging over my head, then, I can pretty much manage with DoorDash for paying bills and groceries at the moment.
So
But you
here's a
guys,
suggestion.
yes.
You're saying it'd take you a couple months to get back on your feet, get caught up with your bills. In March, you say you usually get called back. Do this. Set it in your mind to say, okay, I am not going to trade or try to trade until I get on the other side of the summer. I'm going to go in with practice sessions wherever I can find time to do it over the summer, over the spring. I'm going to work on a model that's only trying to give me a little bit extra bread, one micro. That's it, not three, not two, just one. And that way, you'll have a realistic approach to doing it. I promise you, if you do that, what you're earning with DoorDash, you can do that with one micro contract a couple times a week, and you'll do what you're doing in DoorDash. So if you're doing DoorDash when you get laid off again in the winter, and you're able to comfortably trade minimum one contract, you should be able to weather that seasonal layoff. I would think. I'm not certain. I don't know everything about your finances, but that's my suggestion, and it may not be the right one.
No,
Hey, Rafi.
yep.
Um, I'm a carpenter and I'm also a mechanic. And sorry about we didn't mean to come off too hot there. It's just we everybody in this room has been where you're at,
Oh yeah.
and we
Oh,
just have
brother,
a lot of
I
passion and
asked for
love.
advice. You guys are giving it to me, and I appreciate
But
all of you guys.
whenever I got laid off from carpentry work, I was a framer and a drywaller. I would put my work boots on every single morning. I would put my tools in my car, and I would go to every single job site in the city, and I would ask for the foreman. And I would say, "Hey, are you guys hiring? I have my tool belt. I'm ready to work today." And go to where they're building houses. Say, "Hey, I'm ready to work. I may not
If
know."
you got tools, yeah, if you got tools, that's a great
There's
point,
so many
Christian. You
people
make a
out there that need
fantastic point.
a construction worker, and there's many jobs out there going unfilled right now in the trades. It
I
doesn't
would
matter if
say
it's
even if you
HVAC, plumbing.
guess, get
Just
tools.
go to
Get
the job
tools.
site. Like, don't look online. Literally show up to the job site with your tools ready to work, and there
Right.
will be people.
Yes,
Somebody will
if you
hire you.
show up
I
with
promise you,
tools,
somebody will hire you.
that presumes that you are pre-qualified because you're walking around with 3, 5, 10 grand worth of tools. I can tell you that because I'm the guy hiring. So um yeah, I want to hire the guy who has his own tools. So if you want to show up for a job site and and that's the thing, Rafi. I mean, what Michael's saying is huge. What you need to do is understand you're carrying a heavier load. Sounds like you got 4 plus 1. You got 5. You got 5. You can't just do seasonal work. Now, I will also apologize for being the bad cop here, being the guy who comes across a little extra harsh, because I realize I do and I can,
No,
not
you
on
good. I can
purpose.
take it.
No, right on. I know you can. I know you can. And I appreciate you coming up and taking it on the chin like that if you want to know the truth, because it's not easy to come up here and to say all that and to be honest and be open and be vulnerable and then to take it on the motherfucking chin. So I'll give you that, Rafi. You took it on the chin. But I also will say again, if you look, you need to find the optimal job for you. You got fucking a basketball team. I'll tell you right now, you need to find a nighttime job,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
You need to find a nighttime job, okay? Not just in a fucking car. You need a real fucking job, okay? And you can work during the day or you can work at night. And if you want to be a trader, hear me out. Hear me out. You're going to pick up a second shift that pays you so you can be staring at your phone. And then you can be looking at your charts. Just like while you're driving, we already know you're fucking trading while you're driving, right? We already know that.
Yes,
That's a
sir.
given.
You got it.
Okay, so I ain't mad at you, but what I am saying is you need a second job. It needs to be a nighttime job. You need a concierge kind of front desk kind of vibe, something to where all you got to do is sit there and wait. And then you'll sit there and wait. And while you're sitting there waiting, you can be studying. And that means if you're studying, you need to be demo baller for the next year, 6 months. That's what I heard Michael say. You need to step off the gas pedal completely and thinking about the market and money. All you're thinking about is the market and technique. That's when you're in a place of desperation, my friend. You only got one motherfucking option. That's technique. Bend the elbow, flick the wrist. Son, it don't matter what the fuck you do. You ain't got the money.
Facts.
Don't pretend that you can step up into a world that has money when you ain't got none.
But that's temporary. But you can't.
Yes, technique is
Yeah.
not. Technique is not. Well said. Thank you. Technique is not. And that's why we're here. And no one's screaming at you for not having money. What we're screaming at you for, what I'm screaming at, is for you to focus on the technique. And if you step away from the market because at times that is necessary, then you disengage from the financial consequence and you focus on demo balling up in this B. You the demoist, the ballingist, and you just doing the drills, right? You got to look at, I don't even want to refer to it as demo anymore. You're drilling because that's what you're doing. If you're in school, you're running drills. You're running drills. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to be in the lab. You're allowed to be running drills, and you're allowed to be making and taking these technical decisions on the chart mobily or in front of a computer without any financial repercussion. Not for clout, not for likes, not for nothing, but for you to be like, that's going in my journal.
So pretty much said and done until I get my shit back up and running together. Don't even, try to participate in the markets.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
yes,
Yes, you got
yes.
to be a man before you can be a trader. And right now, you got some babies you got to feed and keep a roof over their over their heads. So you're busy, focused on being a man, and the trading will come, bro. The trading is like that's an evolved state of being. You have to focus on the essentials right now. There's nothing wrong with that. I value and appreciate that. We all understand where and what that means.
Rafi, I want to tell you something. The market, I need you to think about it as is war. Like the worst war that you can be, that's what the market is. I have three kids, and I'm gonna tell you a story that basically is the opposite of you. I came to the market very affluent, very high chest, believing that because I have a big account, I can do it. And then I ended up losing my shirt. And when I tell you my shirt is millions of dollars, I lost. Okay. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I need you to realize that the market is real risk. I mean, we're not talking about we're this is highly professional. These motherfuckers can get you killed in few minutes if you put size. So in your situation, what you need to do, and just to conclude the conversation, I think that you need to get, your house out of foreclosure. Hit me up again. I'll help you out. Get another job, and then demo and get your model. And I'm sure, and I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart with ICT concepts, I'm sure that you can make the $150 in a London session or New York session or even Asia, not risking that much. But you need to put the time, you need to get out of the desperation and the sense of urgency that you are right now
Yes,
in
sir.
order to have your mind out of the cloud. That will be my suggestion.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate all those words.
I love it. 10:15. We're burning the midnight hour. We've been here since after market. Here we are, Trader Roundup Part 2. It always gets good on the weeknights. It always gets good at night. It always gets good in like hour 3, hour 5, like some random marathon of us.
Kid, I want to put emphasis on the plan that Michael's been tweeting about. One micro, like I used to come into markets and trade 5 micros and minis and trying to get a whole day's pay or pass an account in a day. And I toned it back, man. One micro for, let's say, 37 and a half handles or 100 handles, whatever. It
Hey,
will
I don't mean to
take you
interrupt,
far.
but here, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm getting
Yeah, you're good.
You breaking up there, kid?
Can anybody
Go
hear
ahead,
Zach?
finish the thought that you were gonna say.
No, you're talking. I thought Kit was talking. My bad.
No, go ahead. I don't know. He's mute.
He's probably connection issues. It's about to probably drop off. But just the emphasis on that plan, the compounding the interest together, $75 a day will add up eventually, and next thing you know, it's just it keeps everything simple and it's easy. Like you'll see in the comments of Michael's tweets, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's only $75," but next thing you know, it's 7,500 in a week or something. So you just have to
Well,
be patient with it.
it's $75
Hey,
is if
can you
all
guys hear
again
me?
now I can, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my phone's messed up. Connection's going to be lost, and I grabbed the other phone. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just frantically trying
Yeah,
to deal with the, the connection. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just think it's going to end. Sorry.
that's fine.
It's 10:19. X is a rug pull. I'm going to hope and just fingers crossed. Just say thanks everybody for being here. And I don't know if it's going to get cut off or not, but I'd rather not frantically. I don't want to stress about it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna end it here. That's all I gotta say. Much love, respect. We'll do another one next Friday. We know that, and I mean we're following any of the mentorship with follow up spaces for questions, commentary. I would very much like and appreciate if folks thoughtfully add their screenshots with questions